questions for Coach Helfrich. In the back.
You indicated, back here, Mark, you indicated there was a lot that you wanted to work on. Where are you going to start? What area are you most concerned about at this point?
Well, there's obviously things in every phase that need to be rectified. You know, we didn't, for some reason, we had a bunch of assignment busts on the perimeter, which we haven't had ever. Part of that was a communication issue. We missed a couple signs in the first half, which has never happened, and just came up at inopportune times. We had it, 3 times where we ran the wrong route, and that hasn't happened. Yeah, it's happened a couple times, but not to the degree it happened tonight. Didn't play cleanly enough in any phase. You know, defensively played well in the first half, really well enough, and to win, and didn't complement one another well enough. And then the second half, a couple guys were doing a little peeking to do somebody else's job, and so it's just it's a lot harder to learn It's much more difficult to watch the film after a loss than a win, but you have, again, give them a ton of credit. I think that's a very talented team, and they had a good night.
Right here, Steve.
Mark, on Tony's penalty there, what did you see, and what did they tell you they called, and do you have a conversation with him? What he say?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him, and I believe a lot in Tony Washington, and that's not a very good time to make that play. That's a penalty that's very open to interpretation, and we've been called twice for it. And we'll have a discussion about that.
In the back, Warren.
Mark, you talked a little bit early on about you taking the blame. You said that a couple times. Can you maybe talk about that? You're obviously not on the field, but what blame can you take in this game?
If we don't play cleanly mentally, that's on me. I thought we played hard. I did think we played hard. We came out ready to play, but for whatever reason, we weren't communicating well, and it's all my responsibility.
Right here, Jake.
Coach, you said that they rushed 3, and what is it about the 3-3-5 specifically that was difficult for the offense?
Well, anytime you can pressure the passer with a 3-man rush, you can defend a lot of other things, and you can change up your coverage. You can limit the ability to throw the ball downfield, and that was what they did for the most the vast majority of the night.
Will.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what maybe you saw as far as Marcus trying to throw the ball? It seemed like they were confusing him a lot with coverages, keeping him in the pocket, making him climb the pocket as opposed to getting outside. What did you see from his performance?
I didn't think he was confused at all. Again, we had a few busts in the first half. We had, what we thought were touchdown type situations that again, for whatever reason, we didn't execute, and we'll get that fixed. But I don't think it was a matter of confusion. I think it's a matter of any time you can, again, get pressure with 3 guys and mix coverage, those odds aren't good. How they rushed. It's kind of what they did to us last year in a lot of ways as the game went on.
On the right, halfway back, Austin.
Mark, did that look like the same team you saw against Michigan State, or did you see something different tonight?
It doesn't matter. I mean, we're the same, group of guys at this stage in the season. Everybody's different, and there's things that you're doing better. There's things that you need to improve upon. There's other factors involved, and so the team you put out there every week is the best available guys, and I believe 100% in every single guy in that locker room.
Far side.
Mark, is Arizona the closest thing you see to your team on an annual basis? And if so, is that a reason why they're such trouble?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of teams that are similar offensively in the Pac-12 now. Washington to SC kind of adopted this system. As Arizona State, UCLA. Cal's a little bit different. Washington State's a little bit different. But there's a bunch of teams like that.
Right here in the middle.
Mark, obviously it's not something you want to get good at, but you've dealt with losses before. What did you learn anything from the previous losses that this team has had about how to talk to players and the mindset you want to try and get them going forward?
Those guys are resilient. Again, there's some, a bunch of hurt guys in there, but the players are a lot more resilient than I think people give them credit for. The coaches sometimes are the guys that dwell on things a little bit longer, and we'll help everybody flip that page. But it's just like after a win. We identify things that we need to sustain. We identify things that we need to improve upon, and we'll do the same thing after this game.
AJ in the back, right?
Coach, what was it about that read option that Arizona was running that was giving you guys trouble tonight?
Again, parts of it are, it depends on, the play, both offensively and defensively, but a lot of it just comes down to assignment football, one-on-one matchups, either in the air or in space, and they do a great job. They run more than most people of running a run play and then having a lot of downfield routes. And again, they did a nice job executing it.
Cronus is available in here. Just a couple more questions for Coach Helfrich. Right over here.
Mark, what do you think this result means going forward for this year?
Means we're 4-1, and there's a ton of ball left to be played. I think this conference is proving, just as we said at the outset, is an extremely deep and talented conference, and our guys will come back ready to rock for our next opponent.
Coach Frost is in the back. One more question right here.
Coach, do you think it'll make a difference at all trying to turn that page when you've got a top 10 team in UCLA coming next week? Big game, big atmosphere. Does that make any difference at all, do you think, to the players?
Maybe. If it does, we'll use it as a positive. But I think our guys, again, they'll learn from this, and we'll get ready to get back to train. We'll have a little shakeout kind of situation tomorrow. We'll get the film done, get this game sewn up and put away, and move on.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.